leaders, functionaries, and cadets of PERIYAR International Center for Enquiry, Kannada chapter, Humanist Kannada, Humanist Association of Toronto. The delegates who have come from various places in Canada, United States, and the committed cadre delegates who have come in large numbers from the land of Periyar, from Dravadar Kalagam, and other delegates and observers. Good afternoon to all of you. Following the footsteps of my leader, Asriya Dr. K. Ramani, once again, I greet all of you who are attending this International Humanism Conference on Social Justice on behalf of Dravadar Kalagam. The topic of my presentation is Approaches in Social Justice, Periyar and Other Reformers. Before going into the details of what is the speciality in the approach adopted by Periyar compared to other reformers, I want to touch upon what exactly the crux of the problem in Indian society, the menace, the social disease that is prevailing in India, that is caste system. It cannot be understood by others that much easily. It is a very, very cunning design that is perpetuated for so many centuries, more than 2,000 years, more than 3,000 years in that land. Such a oppression, such a suppression, such an exploitation is not available anywhere in the world. That is the worst form of oppression that is prevailing in India. To some extent it has been eradicated. Still, we have to go a long way. Human suppression and exploitation have been prevailing for many centuries. Man oppresses and exploits man, derives benefits and privileges and denies them to others in many ways. The nature of origin of the oppression and exploitation that prevails in India is different distinctively. The components of oppression are practiced as divine dictum. It is not a man-made dictum, it is a divine dictum to make their prevalence for the privilege and supremacy of one sect over the rest of the sects to continue in perennial form. The oppression and exploitation are designed and made as dictum very cunningly by the population intruded in the subcontinent of India and has been existing for more than 5,000 years. What exactly the design? What the cunning design is? Three strategic approach. The suppressing people, they are discriminating others. They are dividing others. Based on that, they are denying certain things to others. 3 Ds: discrimination, division, and denial. Of course, discrimination prevails everywhere. The worst form of discrimination is birth-based discrimination. That worst form of discrimination prevails in India. You may point out one more birth-based discrimination that prevails in United States and other places, white versus black. That is also birth-based discrimination. But the discrimination that prevails in India is more severe than white versus black. Let me explain. Certain things were not denied to the blacks, whereas for the oppressed people, vital human rights were denied. Even in respect of division also, it is a cunning strategy. They are not dividing on two planks. Division means higher, lower. That is the normal way of division. If that division continues, at one point of time, the people in the lower strata, they will understand their situation, they will revolt against the higher. That will happen. Expecting all these things, the oppressive sect, what they did is, they are dividing in a graded manner. There is topmost one sect. Below that, one sect. Beneath to that, third category. Above all these three categories, one lowermost. Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras. The entire four sect is called a caste system. They are not concluding with this. One more lower sect that is called as outcasts, out of the caste system, that is called Panjamas. Again, they have not stopped with this. All these divisions are applicable only for men, not for women. There is no caste system for women. So where they are placing women? Above all these categories, lowermost. Then what is the status of women? What is the caste identity of women? The caste identity is the family identity. After marriage, the identity of their husband. So they are now having independent identity. So based on this, what exactly happens is, the lowermost section, they will not oppose the supreme sect. What they are doing is, so below that, three more layers is there. So below me, two layers are there. So they are under my control, our control. So forgetting conveniently the supremacy of the one sect, there is privileged sect, that is Brahmins. This sort of cunning design, nowhere it is available. So based on this division means inequality will be there. This is called a graded inequality. Graded inequality, that is a speciality of the social melody that prevails in India. Again, it doesn't stop with the discrimination, division. So once they divided, once they place the majority section of the people as a lower sect in different categories, for the lower sect, namely Sudras, they are denying certain vital things. They should not get education. They are denied of education. They cannot choose the job of their choice. So whatever father did, it has to be continued by the son. It is denial. So if it is if they practice, means what will happen? If the lower caste people somehow they got educated, means penal provision is there. If they are violated, they are liable for punishment. That is the speciality of this caste system that prevailed in India. Even in respect of Panjamas also. Panjamas means Sudras, below that Panjamas. Untouchability, all of you are aware of it. Untouchability means if the lower caste comes in contact with the physical touch, physical contact with the upper caste people, they get polluted. That is untouchability. There is two more form of worst thing, that is unseeability. If one touches, means the upper caste gets polluted. If one higher caste looks at the lower caste, by looking at itself, the higher caste gets polluted. So what happens to the lower caste? They will not come into the vicinity of the higher castes. At this time, I want to quote a report that is Government of India, that is Mandal Commission report, that was prepared by All India Survey for the cause of backward classes by Mandal. In that he has mentioned in deep south of Tamil Nadu, in the deep south of India, there is one caste, washerman community called Puradavannan. That community, what is their profession is, they have to wash the clothes of higher castes. So they have to go for their profession only during night hours. What is the purpose of going? So higher caste people, they will not look at it, look at them. So before the dawn, they have to come back home. That was the worst treatment was there. So those people are called unseeables. The first category was untouchable. This is unseeable. Then 1/4 form of that worst condition is unapproachability. Public passage is there. All people, they can walk. But certain categories are denied access to that public path. They can't approach that road. If they approach, they use the road means, passage means automatically the road get polluted. So they are called unapproachable. So these are all the three categories. So with this background, let us go. What reformers? Many of the reformers, what they did was, yes, many they thought very rightly. When question of action comes means, they did one or two things. Here and there, some sort of tinkering works. And they satisfied themselves as if they have done reform. They have not understood the the cunning design involved in it. So simple reform, how long it will persist? They did not bother about it. So a reformer, for genuine purpose, he did some reforms. It will prevail in a limited area. It will be practiced by limited people. Once that reformer passes away means that reform also will vanish. This happened in respect of all reformers in India. The disease was worse. The treatment was simple thing. For a surgery requiring disease, simple application of ointment has been done by earlier reformers. Periyar is the only person who understood the entire gamut. What has to be done? When it will succeed? So accordingly, he developed strategies for it. Many people, they will think very rightly. Beyond thinking, they can't do anything. Simply they will write what is good for the society. But Periyar is not only a thinker, he was an activist, original thinker. Periyar used to tell, he will not quote any other earlier reformers. I think like that. This will be good for the society. So I am not depending on others. I will directly enter into the field. That was the approach of Periyar. That did not prevail in respect of other reformers. The another speciality, the unique feature of Periyar is many reformers, philosophers, they have advocated good things to the society. What is that good thing? In some cases, it will be very, very difficult to understand. Only scholarly people, they could understand. In respect of Periyar, he was a primary school dropout. He has not completed even 5th standard. He was an original thinker. He thought in his own way. So what is the remedy? The fundamental ideologies, Periyar ideologies, is very, very simple thing. One is self-respect. Another is rationalism. Is it that much difficult to understand what is self-respect? Is it that much difficult to understand what is rationalism? These two qualities are applicable, relevant to all human beings, irrespective of the territory. No man can deny. So, self-respect is irrelevant to me. No one can say like that. I am not having any rationalistic approach. It is an inborn quality of every human being. So, inborn quality means what is the role of Periyar? His mission was to make them realize, to fully utilize the spirit of self-respect, to fully realize the spirit of enquiry, that is rationalistic approach. In that way, he started his movement. Another thing about Periyar is, the cause is great cause. However talent an individual is, an individual cannot complete the task. Periyar was very well aware of it. For that, organizational functioning is a must. He thought what has to be done, he decided. For organizational approach, he joined some movement. In that movement, he realized, he experienced, this organization is not suitable for me to accomplish my task, social task. Then voluntarily he came out and founded his own organization that is called Self-Respect League. Based on the ideology he formed. It is a very, very simple thing. That organization later became a massive mass movement. Then subsequently the name was changed as Dravidar Kalagam. Till date, the name of the organization continues as Dravidar Kalagam. Then what is the speciality of, there are so many social organizations. What is the speciality of Dravidar Kalagam means something has to be achieved. Some changes has to take place. Some changes have to take place in the minds of the people, for which continuous propaganda is required. Not only propaganda, whatever development that takes place, that has to continue for long period, even after Periyar, even after so many years, even after so many centuries. For that, what Periyar did was, basically, even though it is a mass movement, the bylaw he framed that Dravidar Kalagam should not participate in the election. It should not aspire for any power or position. So people may think Periyar is hesitant for power and position. Deliberately he denied. But he was well aware of the role of the state machinery. Even though Dravidar Kalagam did not participate, contest in the election, he is very particular. He is more than a political party. Who has to succeed in the election? Who has to come to the power? So whichever party, whoever is nearer to the ideology, without their asking, Periyar canvassed for him at the time of election. Because of the Periyar efforts, many people became the rulers. So through them, he accomplished the task. The state machinery is a very, very vital thing. Once it is legalized, then only it will prolong forever. Otherwise, it will be a temporary measure. In individual organization, whatever good thing if they do means, it will not last long. So for this, Periyar deliberately. Then another thing is, once we contest the election means, at the time of canvass voting, whatever palatable to the voters, we have to speak. Sometimes we have to compromise. Some percent ideology we can't do. For that purpose also, Periyar was very particular. From the starting days till date, under the leadership of Asiriyar Dr. Veeramani, that bylaw still continues. But we can't, the Periyar movement, the leaders of Periyar movement, they can't become kings, but they are king makers in the political field. That is the speciality of. Another thing is, the topic says it is a comparison between Periyar approach and other reformers. Actually, it is not a reform. It is a revolution. What Periyar did was a revolution, silent revolution. Whenever we say revolution means, in many countries revolutions have taken place. Revolution means Most of the revolutions have taken place through armed struggle. The real change in the mindset did not happen. So whatever changes, a revolution took place, it could not sustain. We can quote many examples like that. For that, Periyar was very particular. We have to do the propaganda devoid of any sort of violence. But it's a basic philosophy of Periyar. Not an iota of violence should be involved while propaganda work. That was the insisted by Periyar. Another major thing is this sort of discrimination, the social disease that has been existing in the society for more than 2,000, 3,000 years. 100% success will not come in single generation. For that, Periyar, the organization has to continue. How long an individual can live? So Periyar forecast after his demise, who has to succeed? But who has to succeed? He decided, but he did not mention who has to become the leader. He facilitated the cadets to become the leaders. So after the demise of Periyar, after Periyar, smooth takeoff took place. Annai Maniyammayar became the leader. After Maniyammayar, our Asiriyar Dr. K. Veeramani became the leader. Under his leadership, it is more effective than during Periyar. Periyar period was a starting point. Now the condition has improved. Many people who were denied of education, they have come up. So that is the approach, special approach. This sort of social organizational approach did not prevail in any other social organization in any country. That is the major success for Periyar. Only one speciality, whatever I am going to tell, it is not exhaustive, it is only illustrative. I can point out one or two what is the specialities. Actually, denied people, education denied people, they should be given education. They should be given employment of their choice. So based on the discrimination, it has been denied. Again, it has to be provided based on that discrimination. For that, Periyar word, it was compensatory discrimination. The original discrimination was, that is original discrimination. To offset it, compensatory discrimination, that is social justice. The mode of social justice, reservation. People denied education, they should be given this much of percentage of education. People who have been denied employment, they should be given with certain percentage of employment. For that, legal provisions are required. India attained independence. Indian constitution came to rule the country. At that time, the Supreme sect conveniently abolished all the reservation methods, not directly through the court of law. Periyar was particular. He revolted against it. With the associating people, he fought for it continuously. The agitation went on for very long time. Based on the Periyar agitation only, the constitution was first time amended. Who can amend the constitution? Only elected representative can amend the constitution. Periyar will not contest any election. How he can? That is the people power vested with the Periyar. That is the thing. And another thing, with that only I want to conclude, the cadre development. Periyar was very particular about cadre development. Wherever propaganda is required, it has to be carried out. Wherever agitation, peaceful agitation required, it has to be carried out. Picketing, even it is contrary to the law, it is openly announced, picketing has to be carried out. Even cadets, they will be prepared for arrests. Even required, they are prepared to go for imprisonment also. In that way, Periyar developed his cadets, black shirt cadets, that is without assuming any power, without assuming any position, only for accomplishing the social task. This massive movement has been founded by Periyar. This is a speciality. Such sort of approach were not available with any other reformers, any other revolutionary. So, these are all the things. For paucity of time, I have touched one or few points. What is the speciality involved in Periyar approach? The premier disciple of Anna, in one of the convocation address, he pointed out Anna was good in categorizing in a lucid way of conveying a message to the public. So whoever wants to do good thing to the public, they can do in three ways. One is social service. If one prepares, if you are coming for social service, means the service requiring people, automatically they will accept. Only the social service people, they should be prepared. Absolutely, there won't be any problem. The next category is social reform. Social reform only, a tinkering work here and there, one or two things can be carried out. The major change, top side down, that change is through revolution. In that way, what Periyar did was social revolution, incomparable, uncomparable, that cannot be quoted with any other revolution that took place in any part of the country. With these few words, thank you for the opportunity given by the organizers of the conference to tell what are the specialities involved in the Periyar approach in the accomplishment of social justice and to eliminate the social malady. In that way, Periyar is not only a revolutionary, he is a social scientist, a social doctor. He treated the society. Thank you, comrades. Thank you.